Ever wondered why your effort in a relationship doesn't equal the results you get? What if the person who smiles at you the most is the one silently wishing for your downfall? This isn't a paranoid fantasy. It's a deep, often painful reality of the human experience, a shadow play happening just beneath the surface of our daily interactions. It's that strange, cold feeling you get in a room that should be warm. It's the compliment that lands like a stone in your stomach. It's the exhaustion you feel after a simple conversation with someone you're supposed to like and who is supposed to like you. You've been there, haven't you? You feel a disconnect, a subtle friction in the air with a friend, a family member, or a colleague. Their words are pleasant, their smile is in place, but your soul, your intuition, sends you a quiet warning. You try harder, you extend more kindness, you offer more of your energy, you share more of your vulnerability, hoping to bridge this invisible gap. Yet the chasm only seems to widen. You begin to question yourself. Am I too sensitive? Am I imagining things? Am I the problem? This feeling of confusion, this draining emotional labor, is a profound signal from your psyche. It's telling you that the mask you're interacting with, the persona, is hiding something entirely different in the shadows. Your anxiety in these situations isn't the problem. It's the language your soul uses to warn you about this profound misalignment. In this journey together, we will pull back the curtain on this subtle theater of human interaction. We will uncover the almost invisible signs that someone harbors hidden resentment, envy, or dislike towards you. This isn't about fostering paranoia or encouraging you to see enemies everywhere. Quite the opposite. This is about cultivating wisdom. It is about learning to trust the celestial mindwaves of your own intuition. It's an act of profound self-protection and emotional intelligence, allowing you to conserve your sacred energy for those who genuinely wish you well. We will delve deep into the teachings of Carl Jung to understand not just what these signs are, but why they manifest. By understanding the unconscious dynamics at play, the projection of the shadow, the fragility of the ego, you will move from a place of confused victimhood to one of empowered clarity. You will learn to see not with your eyes, but with your soul. Let's begin with a first win, a sign so common yet so often dismissed. It is the compliment that feels like a sting. Think of it as a beautiful, ripe apple with a single, perfectly hidden wormhole. On the surface, it's praise, but in its delivery, in its framing, it carries a subtle poison of diminishment. It's the friend who says, "Wow, I'm so surprised you got that promotion. I never saw you as the management type." The praise for the promotion is immediately undercut by a statement that questions your very capability. It's a backhanded compliment designed to plant a seed of doubt in your moment of triumph. Or consider the family member who looks at your new painting and says, "That's so lovely. It's amazing what you can do with just a hobby." The word "just" is the key. It reduces your passion, your skill, your dedication to something trivial, something less than. This isn't a simple slip of the tongue. From a Jungian perspective, this is a classic manifestation of shadow projection. The person delivering the compliment is unconsciously battling their own feelings of inadequacy, envy, or unrealized potential. They see your success, your light, and it illuminates what they feel is lacking within themselves, their own shadow. They didn't hurt you because you're weak. They hurt you because your light exposed their shadow. Unable to consciously process or integrate this uncomfortable feeling, their psyche projects it outward, twisting a potential moment of shared joy into a subtle act of aggression. They are in essence trying to pull you down to the level where their own ego feels more comfortable. Your first step towards self-healing and true emotional intelligence is to recognize this for what it is. It's not about you. When you receive a compliment that makes you flinch, don't question your achievement. Instead, silently acknowledge that you have just witnessed another person's shadow. You don't need to confront them. You don't need to react. You simply need to know. This knowledge is your shield. It allows their words to become transparent, passing through you without leaving a wound, because you understand the source of the arrow was never your inadequacy, but their own inner turmoil. This is your first win in learning to discern the truth behind the mask. Now let's deepen this value. Let's journey further into the labyrinth of the human psyche. The second subtle sign is what we can call the ghosting of your good news. You have something wonderful to share. You've achieved a personal goal, you've fallen in love, you've received a piece of fantastic news. You reach out to this person, your heart full of excitement, and you are met with a curious silence. Or worse, a brief, sterile, and dismissive response. Okay, or nice, or that's cool, before they immediately change the subject to something about themselves, often a problem or a minor inconvenience. There is no follow-up question. There is no shared joy. There is no reflection of your excitement. It's as if you threw a ball of light into a void. Pay close attention to this. Genuine connection thrives on shared emotional resonance. When someone truly cares for you, your joy becomes their joy. They want to know the details. How did it feel? What happened next? Tell me everything. Their energy rises to meet yours. The person who secretly dislikes you, however, experiences your joy as a threat. Your happiness is a glaring spotlight on their own dissatisfaction. Your success is a mirror to what they perceive as their own failures. To celebrate with you would require them to set aside their own ego, their own envy, their own internal narrative of lack. This is an act of emotional maturity they are unable or unwilling to perform. So they deflect, they minimize, they change the subject. They create an energetic wall to block out your light. When you notice this pattern, this consistent failure to celebrate with you, understand that it's a profound statement. They are not capable of holding space for your happiness. And a relationship where joy cannot be shared is not a relationship that can sustain your soul. It's a slow leak in your energetic reserves, a place where your spirit goes to be diminished. Recognizing this isn't about being needy for praise, it's about acknowledging the fundamental need for reciprocity in any healthy human bond. You deserve to share your light with people who won't try to extinguish it with their silence. This leads us to the third, and perhaps more insidious sign, the selective memory for your mistakes. This person seems to have a photographic recall of every stumble, every misstep, every failure you've ever had. In moments of casual conversation, they will bring up that embarrassing thing you did years ago, often framed as a funny story. They will remind you of a past project that didn't work out right when you're about to embark on a new one. Oh, you're starting a new business. Remember that other one you tried? Let's hope this one goes better, they might say, with a laugh that doesn't quite reach their eyes. They are the unofficial historians of your perceived shortcomings. Yet they seem to have a convenient amnesia when it comes to your triumphs, your resilience, your moments of grace and strength. This is a powerful and manipulative tactic, whether conscious or not. From a psychological standpoint, this is about keeping you small. It's a way of defining you by your past failures rather than your present potential. By repeatedly anchoring you to your mistakes, they attempt to create a narrative in which you are less competent, less worthy, and therefore less threatening to their own ego. It's a subtle form of control. As Jung would articulate, they are projecting their own fear of failure onto you. They are so terrified of their own potential for mistakes that they obsessively focus on yours. It's a defense mechanism. If you are the one who fails, then they by comparison can feel more secure in their own precarious sense of self. To protect your soul from this, you must become the primary author of your own story. When they bring up a past mistake, you don't have to become defensive. You can respond with calm, detached wisdom. Yes, I learned so much from that experience. It was a crucial part of my journey to get where I am today. With that response, you reclaim the narrative. You transform their weapon of shame into your own story of growth and resilience. You refuse to be defined by their limited and fearful perception of you. You are not your mistakes. You are the wisdom you gained from them. Let us now consider a fourth sign, one that operates in the realm of social dynamics. They subtly isolate you from the group. This can be incredibly difficult to pinpoint because it's often done through microactions. It's the accidental omission from a group email chain. It's the inside joke shared with others in the room, with a quick glance towards you to ensure you know you're on the outside. It's the gathering that gets planned where they forgot to invite you, only for you to find out about it later. When confronted, the excuse is always plausible. Oh, I'm so sorry, it completely slipped my mind. Or, I thought Sarah was going to tell you. But the consistent pattern tells a different story. This is a tactic of social sabotage. Humans are social creatures. Our sense of safety and belonging is deeply tied to our inclusion in a tribe or a group. By subtly pushing you to the periphery, this person is attempting to weaken your social standing and by extension your sense of security and self-worth. They are chipping away at your support system. This behavior often stems from a deep-seated envy of your social skills, your charisma, or the genuine connections you have with other people. They see you as a competitor for social capital, for attention, for affection, for respect. Unable to compete on a level playing field of genuine connection, they resort to these underhanded tactics of exclusion. They are trying to redraw the social map to place themselves at the center and you on the lonely edges. Your defense against this is twofold. First, conscious awareness. See the pattern, not the individual excuses. Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt when a pattern is screaming at you. Second, and more importantly, focus on cultivating the genuine connections you do have. Nurture the relationships with people who actively include you, who celebrate you, who make you feel seen. Don't waste your precious energy trying to break down the door of a group that is being quietly locked by a hidden saboteur. Your tribe is not the one you have to fight to be a part of. Your tribe is where you are welcomed unconditionally. The fifth sign is a subtle but powerful form of energetic vampirism. They use your vulnerability against you. In a moment of trust, you share something deeply personal, a fear and insecurity, a past trauma. You open your heart seeking connection and understanding. A person who genuinely cares will hold that confidence as sacred. They will create a safe space for your vulnerability. But the person with a hidden dislike will store that information away as ammunition. It may not be used immediately. It may be weeks, months, or even years later. But in a moment when you are in a disagreement or when they want to gain an upper hand, they will subtly, or not so subtly, bring up that vulnerability to hurt you, to shame you, or to dismiss your current feelings. You're only getting so upset about this because of what happened to you as a kid, they might say, weaponizing your past trauma to invalidate your present emotions. This is a profound betrayal. It is a violation of the sacred trust that underpins all meaningful relationships. In the language of psychology, this is a deeply manipulative form of gaslighting. They are using your own self-awareness against you to make you question your own reality and your own reactions. They are saying, your feelings are not valid, they are just a symptom of your brokenness. This is done to maintain control and to avoid taking any responsibility for their own behavior in the situation. What can you do when this happens? The first and most crucial step is to recognize the sanctity of your own story. Your vulnerabilities are not weaknesses, they are parts of your journey that have forged your strength. Anyone who uses them as a weapon is showing you in the clearest possible terms that they are not a safe harbor for your soul. This is a red line, a boundary that once crossed must be met with the firm realization that this person does not have your best interests at heart. The appropriate response is not to engage in the fight they are trying to start. It is to emotionally and energetically withdraw. You learn a powerful, albeit painful, lesson. Not everyone has earned the right to hear your story. Your deepest truths are pearls. Do not cast them before those who will trample them. Let's build on this and seal our credibility by looking at how Jung's work illuminates these patterns. Carl Jung spoke extensively of the persona, which is the social mask we wear to navigate the world. It's the version of ourselves we present to be acceptable, to fit in. A healthy individual knows they are wearing a persona. They don't confuse the mask with their true self. However, for someone riddled with insecurity and envy, the persona becomes a rigid shield behind which their true feelings, the shadow, fester. The person who secretly dislikes you is often trapped behind a persona of pleasantness or friendship. They lack the psychological integration and courage to either address their feelings honestly or to work on the inner insecurities that cause them. So the shadow, the envy, the resentment, the feelings of inadequacy, leaks out. It leaks out in backhanded compliments and dismissive silences, in subtle sabotage. They cannot express, I am envious of you, so their psyche twists the energy into, I am surprised you succeeded. They cannot say, your happiness makes me feel my own lack, so they say nothing at all. Understanding this framework is not about excusing their behavior, it is about diagnosing it. When you can see the dynamic of the fragile persona and the leaking shadow, you are no longer a victim of the confusing behavior. You become a discerning observer of a predictable psychological pattern. This understanding is freedom. It detaches you from the emotional impact and allows you to make conscious choices about where you invest your energy. Now let's explore the sixth sign, which is a keen focus on passive aggression. This is the art of expressing hostility indirectly. It's the roommate who is angry at you for not doing the dishes and so forgets to pass on an important phone message. It's the colleague who is threatened by your competence and so consistently misplaces the file you need before a big presentation. It's sarcasm that is deployed not for humor, but to deliver a veiled insult. Oh, look at you actually leaving work on time for once, must be nice. The sting is there, but if you call them on it, they will immediately retreat behind a shield of plausible deniability. I was just joking. Wow, you're so sensitive. This is the language of cowards. It's for people who lack the courage to be direct. Passive aggression is a way to wield power and express anger without taking responsibility for it. It forces the target you into a state of confusion and self-doubt. You feel the hostility, but the attack is so veiled that to name it makes you seem paranoid or aggressive yourself. This is a classic gaslighting technique. They make you the problem for reacting to their hidden aggression. From a Jungian perspective, this is the shadow in its most cunning form. The person is unable to integrate their anger or frustration, so it operates from the shadows, finding these indirect channels of expression. The healthiest way to deal with passive aggression is not to play the game. Do not get drawn into the subtext. Instead, you respond only to the literal, surface-level meaning of their words. To the sarcastic comment, must be nice to leave on time, you can reply with a cheerful and direct, yes it is, I had a very productive day, have a great evening. This response is disarming. It refuses to acknowledge the hidden barb. It brings the interaction back into the light, a place where the passive-aggressive person is deeply uncomfortable. By refusing to engage with the shadow, you rob it of its power over you. You maintain your peace by refusing to descend into their murky emotional games. The seventh sign is the subtle but consistent downplaying of your accomplishments. This is different from the failure to celebrate your good news. This is an active attempt to minimize it. You get a promotion and they say, oh, that's great. They're promoting everyone these days. The company is desperate for managers. You run a marathon and they say, that's cool. My cousin ran an ultramarathon. Those are the really hard ones. You publish an article and they say, that's nice. Is that just on a blog or is it in a real publication? There is always a but, always a qualifier, always a comparison that serves to shrink your achievement. The psychological engine behind this is, once again, profound envy and a competitive ego. Your success feels like their failure. They exist in a zero-sum world where for you to win they must somehow lose. To protect their fragile sense of self-worth, they cannot allow your achievement to stand on its own. They must find a way to make it smaller, less significant, less impressive. They are attempting to re-establish their own perceived superiority by devaluing you. As you develop your emotional intelligence, you will learn to hear these comments not as reflections on your accomplishments, but as loud confessions of their own insecurities. They are telling you, your success makes me feel insecure. They are telling you, I feel I am not enough, so I must make you feel that you are not enough. When you hear it this way, the sting dissolves. It no longer has the power to diminish your joy. Your response should be internal. It is a silent acknowledgement. I see your shadow. I see your pain, but I will not allow it to tarnish my joy. You don't need to argue or defend your accomplishment. That would be playing their game. The victory is in knowing that your achievement is valid, and their attempt to shrink it is merely a reflection of their own smallness of spirit. Let's pause here for a moment. I want you to engage in a moment of viewer reflection. Take a slow, deep breath, and I want you to bring to mind a relationship in your life, past or present, that consistently left you feeling drained, confused, or diminished. You don't have to say the name out loud. Just hold the feeling of that connection in your awareness. Now, as we've walked through these signs, the backhanded compliment, the silence on your good news, the focus on your failures, the subtle exclusion, the weaponizing of your vulnerability, the passive aggression, the downplaying of your success, which of these have you felt? Which of these resonate with that feeling of unease? Just take a moment to acknowledge the truth of your own experience. Your feelings are valid data. Your intuition is a highly refined instrument. What if the exhaustion you felt wasn't a sign of your weakness, but a sign of your spirit's rejection of an inauthentic connection? What is your soul trying to tell you about where you should and should not be investing your precious life force? Let this be a moment of quiet validation for your own perceptions. Now let's continue our exploration with the eighth sign. They consistently give you bad advice, often cloaked as genuine concern. They are the friend who, when you are excited about a new job opportunity, will focus on all the potential downsides. Are you sure you want to work there? I heard the culture is terrible, and the commute will be awful. They are the person who, when you are in a new and happy relationship, will sow seeds of doubt. He seems nice, but are you sure he's over his ex? You need to be careful. On the surface, it sounds like they are trying to protect you. They are using the language of care and caution. But the energetic reality is that they are projecting their fear and negativity onto your potential for happiness and growth. Why would someone do this? Often, it's because your growth threatens the stability of their own life or their relationship with you. If you take that new job and succeed, you might outgrow them. If you find a happy, fulfilling relationship, you might have less time for them. Your transformation represents a change they are not ready for, so they subtly try to sabotage your progress to keep you where you are, to maintain the status quo that is comfortable for them. It's a selfish act disguised as selfless concern. This is a classic move from the shadow that fears change. To counter this, you must become the ultimate authority on your own life. Learn to distinguish between genuine, constructive concern and fear-based sabotage. Genuine advice empowers you. It gives you things to consider, but ultimately trusts your judgment. Sabotaging advice aims to paralyze you with fear and doubt. When you hear this kind of advice, thank them for their concern and then turn inward to your own wisdom. Your soul knows the direction of your growth. Do not let another person's fear become the fence that cages your potential. The ninth sign is a fascinating one, and it is revealed through their body language. The body does not lie. While a person can control their words, the unconscious truths of the psyche often leak out through nonverbal cues. When you are with someone who secretly dislikes you, watch their body. Do their feet point away from you towards the exit, even when their torso is turned towards you? This is a classic unconscious signal of wanting to escape the interaction. When you share good news, do you see a micro-expression? A fleeting flash of a frown, a sneer, a look of contempt, before they arrange their face into a smile. These micro-expressions, often lasting less than a second, are the truest windows into their real feelings. Do they consistently create physical barriers between you, placing a purse, a book, or a coffee cup on the table directly between you? Do they cross their arms and lean back when you are being open and enthusiastic? These are not random gestures. They are the language of the unconscious. The body is revealing the dissonance between the persona they are trying to project, I am your friend, and the shadow's true feeling, I am uncomfortable, threatened, and I want to get away from you. Learning to read this subtle language is like gaining a superpower. It allows you to perceive the energetic reality beneath the spoken one. You don't need to call them out on it. Why are your feet pointing at the door? Would be absurd. The power is in the knowing. It's in the quiet confirmation of your own intuition. When their words say one thing and their body says another, trust the body. It holds the unfiltered truth. This awareness allows you to calibrate your own level of openness and engagement with them, protecting your energy by not offering it to someone who is physically and energetically recoiling from you. Finally, we arrive at the 10th sign, which is perhaps the most telling of all. They reveal themselves in how they talk about others to you. Listen carefully when this person gossips. The way they speak about other people who are not present is a direct preview of how they speak about you when you are not present. Do they speak with scorn about a mutual friend's success? Do they pick apart another person's choices with harsh judgment? Do they seem to take a strange delight in the misfortunes of others? This is a giant red flag. A person who is comfortable and integrated within themselves does not need to tear others down to feel tall. They can observe, they can even disagree, but they don't operate from a place of malicious glee or judgmental superiority. The person who is rife with insecurity and shadow material, however, uses gossip and slander as a way to bond, to create a false sense of intimacy. We are the ones who know the truth, and to vent their own frustrations with the world. When they are tearing someone else down in front of you, they are showing you the exact content and nature of their own shadow. They are revealing their envy, their judgment, their negativity. And you must understand this fundamental truth: you are not the exception. The same lens of judgment they apply to others will be, and likely already is, applied to you behind your back. This is not cynicism, it's pattern recognition. When someone shows you that they're comfortable wielding a knife in the backs of others, believe them. And make a conscious choice not to turn your back to them. So let's take a breath and do a mini recap of our journey. We have explored the subtle, often hidden terrain where dislike masquerades as friendship. We've uncovered the sting in a backhanded compliment, the void of a non-celebration, the selective memory for your failures, the quiet exclusion from the group, the weaponization of your deepest vulnerabilities, the fog of passive aggression, the active diminishment of your triumphs, the sabotage disguised as advice, the revealing language of the body, and the dark mirror of how they speak of others. Each of these is a signal from the universe, a piece of data for your soul. Now let's future pace this. Imagine yourself moving forward from this moment, armed with this new level of discernment. Imagine engaging with people and being able to calmly perceive these dynamics without being emotionally hijacked by them. Imagine the energy you will save. Imagine the peace you will cultivate by choosing to invest your time and your heart in relationships that are built on a foundation of genuine support, reciprocity, and mutual respect. This knowledge is not a curse that makes you see the worst in people. It is a blessing that allows you to see the truth. And the truth, as they say, will set you free. It frees you from confusion, from self-doubt, from the exhausting work of trying to win the approval of someone who is committed to misunderstanding you. Are you truly tired of life, or just tired of betraying your soul daily in these draining connections? We've delved deep into the shadows, but the purpose of exploring the darkness is to more fully appreciate the light. This is about clearing the path so you can find and nurture true soul-level connections. It's about creating space in your life for the love you crave, which begins with the boundaries you've been too scared to set. This is the heart of personal development, of emotional intelligence, of the journey of transformation that Jung called individuation, the process of becoming whole. I invite you now to join our community, a collective of seekers exploring these celestial mind waves of consciousness and self-healing. If this journey resonated with you, if a light of recognition turned on within you, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. We delve into these deep topics: Jungian psychology, emotional intelligence, philosophy, and true transformation, to help you navigate the complexities of life with more wisdom and peace. This is a space for deep dives, not shallow answers. And to continue our conversation, I want to spark some engagement and reflection in the comments below. Let me leave you with this question. Based on our exploration today, what is one boundary you will now commit to setting to protect your peace? It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It could be as simple as "I will no longer explain my joy to those who meet it with silence," or "I will trust my body's signals of discomfort." Your declaration, your story, might be the very permission slip that someone else reading the comments needs to see to begin their own journey of self-protection. Your courage can be contagious. As you move forward from this video, carry this final thought with you. Your energy is your most sacred, non-renewable resource. Your peace is your power. Guard it with wisdom. Nurture it with genuine connection. And walk forward in the world not with a shield of paranoia, but with the quiet, unshakable confidence of a soul that knows its own worth. In our next exploration, we will turn the coin over and examine the subtle, often missed signs of genuine, soul-level love and connection, so you'll know exactly what to look for as you clear the path. Thank you for walking this path with me today. Be well and trust the wisdom that is already within you.